This interaction with the director of STPI, we have been planning for quite some time, and due to various reasons, it couldn't happen so far. This was originally based on requests from some of our members to have an interactive session with STPI. And as part of the registration, I think we've got a lot of questions around the company is trying to move from CES to STPI. Also, what are some of the new initiatives that STPI is doing, and about the new building that STPI is launching inside Technopark, and then general questions around soft text forms and such things. So we are very lucky and privileged to have here with us the director of STPI, Thiruvananthapuram, Sri Ganesh Naik. Sri Ganesh Naik has over 25 years in various fields, including regulatory function, policy implementation, industry promotion, e-governance, project management, and consultancy. He joined STPI in the year 2001 and held various scientific and technological positions in STPI. During his tenure in STPI, he was posted in various STPI centers and sub-centers, including in Tier 2 cities. He had contributed immensely for setting up of new centers, creation of entrepreneurship ecosystem, employment generation, and many other promotional activities for the IT, ITES, and ESDM sector. He was also part of the consultation groups of formulation of policies and guidelines for the central and state governments. Prior to joining STPI, he had worked in private organizations and also has expertise in design and deployment of turnkey projects in the field of electrical instrumentation and telecommunication. He graduated in Bachelor of Engineering in Electronics and Communication from the University of Mangalore. Welcome you, sir, to this interaction, and over to you. I think we have a presentation, right, Vishnu?
Yes, the director is having a presentation, so they'll be sharing the screen.
Okay, all right. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Harish. Namaskaram and very good afternoon to all. Shri Harish Mohan, Shri Vishnu, and all the members who have connected today for this presentation and maybe interaction if there is some questions. Yeah, very good afternoon and welcome to this session. And I am very pleased and privileged to talk to all of you, and delighted to share about STPI. And before I start, I thank GTech team led by the chairman, and the work that the group is doing to the IT fraternities in the last 15 years is very commendable, and congratulations for all the work that you've done. I think if I'm not wrong, most of you may be knowing about STPI, and most of you may be knowing everything about STPI, or maybe some of you are not aware of what STPI is doing and how STPI started and things. So I will try to give a brief insight on STPI and its new initiatives. Maybe I may be talking something which is not expected from me, or I am not presenting anything about the statutory requirements. I can answer the questions when and wherever it comes, but let me take some time to explain what is STPI, to know in detail about STPI. So I'll try to share a file. Is it visible?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. STPI has now completed 30 years of its existence, and throughout the year, throughout its existence in the last 3 decades, we have been always envisioned by the needs of IT industry, and started providing the acceptable solutions or remedies, or by the way of some service or policy changes, and betterment to that. So uh, we STPA was established in 1991 under the present Ministry of Electronics and IT, Government of India. Earlier, it was only the Department of Electronics. So, the establishment of STPI is the result of some strategic decisions taken by the Government of India about during the 60s and 70s. So I'll take a couple of minutes to discuss that also. Uh, the Indian IT revolution started in the year 1963, when the Baba Committee was formed to realize the importance of electronics and computers in national development. And subsequently, uh, government formed ECIL and Department of Electronics. And later, some policy decisions have been taken, and new computer policy, new software policy, and new electronic policy were notified. And subsequently, in the year 1989, three software technology park complexes were formed in the cities Pune, Bangalore, and Bhubaneswar. And after a couple of years, government thought that it needs more support, and all the three complexes were merged, and Software Technology Parks of India has been formed. And uh, in the month of June 1991, the formal foundation was laid to Software Technology Parks of India as a autonomous society. Okay, and during that period, even the EXIM policy and other policies like export promotion policies, 100% EOU scheme, everything was running for various sectors, but sector specific EOU scheme was launched in the name of STP and ESTP scheme. So this is just a glimpse of what we have achieved in last 30 years. See, initially the IT sector was in a very nascent stage, and now it has grown, and the export or the revenue is about $194 billion, and human resource about 4.5 million manpower has been employed by the IT industries, and it contributes to about 52% of the total exports of the nation, which is very recommendable commendable. And out of that, about 40% of the exports are being done by the STP registered units. These are the core services what STPA was entrusted with when it was formed. Like, it is mainly the statutory service, that is to implement STP and EHTP schemes, and to give some infrastructure support in the form of incubation and liaising with the governments, central governments and the state governments, and also to award and reward various achievers. as a promotional activity. So these are the couple of schemes that Government of India notified in the form of STP scheme. It is actually a sector-specific 100% EOU scheme, mainly for the promotion of IT exports. And ESTP scheme is for the manufacturing of electronic hardware and embedded software uh, for the exports. Okay, and the benefits are salient features where this office was giving all approvals at one place, and there were financial benefits like direct tax benefit, income tax exemptions. Of course, that has been lapsed during 2011, but industry was very benefited from such features of the scheme. Then there was another challenge to the industry during those days. The main media for the software exports. So only, I think BSNL was only company who was giving the internet services, uh, and it used to take months together to get it installed or commissioned. So STPI thought that the early commissioning of or international lease lines should be there to promote this particular industry. So STPI took a decision to commission all earth stations across various centers across India, which were by which the IT units got connected to every part of the world, so that their business was started very smoothly. And other than this, we also have data centers presently across four major cities, five major cities, that Bangalore, Chennai, Vijayawada, Bhubaneswar, and Mohali. And we also started incubation services. It is mainly to support the industry, so that all support activity or the maintenance activity was taken by STPI, taken care by STPI, and industry was only to they concentrate only on the core business what they were supposed to do. So uh, every small and big companies of today have used these facilities. I don't want to name anybody, but everyone knows about how STP incubations were supporting them. We STP also have done some project management consultancies. We uh, replicated the STP model in a few foreign countries with their bilateral uh, cooperation. So presently we have good expertise in consulting activities also, like setting up of data centers or network operation centers, and IT audits, various other activities we have been doing from years, but we have a solid team right now. Uh, and during the decade of 2001 to 2010, we grew our business. We spread across to various cities, and then uh, we were consolidated our businesses, where the uh, various activities have reached uh, to the peak, and units were also, we had about 10,000 units registered with STPI. And suddenly the sunset clause for the income tax benefit was affected in 2011 March, and the units were looking at different options for the uh, direct tax benefits and other things. And parallelly, the SEZ also started popularizing. So we had to think something different to support the industry. So all the effort that we have done in first couple of decade started wiping off, and all the collaboration of industries and the state governments, they wanted us to take it to a next level for the entrepreneurship. So the first activity that STPI did was setting up of a semiconductor measurement and analysis and reliability test lab in Bangalore. In short, we call it as a smart lab. And this is one of the lab which all the chip designing companies, not big, the smaller ones who could not afford to invest on such labs, they got use of it, and it is very successful. And then comes the uh, Digital India initiatives in the year 2016. The Digital India initiatives have been started by the government, and one of the pillars of Digital India is to create uh, or IT for job. So under that, the government of India started a BPO promotion scheme. It is mainly to give a viability gap funding. Uh, the companies used to get about 50% of their expenditure on capex or opex, and with the maximum upper limit of 1 lakh per seat. So totally there were 53,000 seats which was approved by the government, and due to various competitive bidding, we could allocate more seats. Now the allotted seats are about 61,000. It is spread across India, and even in Kerala, a couple of companies are operating under this scheme. Then under the seventh pillar, that is seventh pillar of Digital India, it is electronic manufacturing was also given uh, importance. And through the grants of Ministry of Electronics and IT, STPI started the Electropreneur Park. It is a ESDM specific, domain specific incubator. We collaborated with the Delhi University and ISA, that is Indian Electronics and Semiconductor Association, and started this particular venture of Electropreneur Park. It was a 5-year project started in 2016, and now the first 5 years are going to complete, and we are going to extend this such for the further period of 3 or 5 years. Okay, this has generated good output. We got about 44, 40, 50 was the target startups to be supported, but we could achieve 44, and about 32 patents were filed, and the details are here. And this was a pilot project, and STPI took this as a success story and uh, started engaging on a innovation based activity, and they STPI wanted to be a leader in technology startup ecosystem. So STPI took a decision to create Center of Excellences across the nation. And Center of Excellence is mainly a collaboration of industry association, academia, venture capitalists, And with the help of great mentors from the industry, we started building up, setting up various center of excellences. The plan is to have about 25 center of excellences in next 2-3 years. And these are some of the mentors who are on board with the STPI, who are leading various center of excellences which are already launched. The USPs of STPI COEs are we have state of the art incubation infrastructure. We give access to the world class laboratories, mentoring, and best breed academicians are also supporting us. The funding, connects, and support for IPR filing and various other things are there. At present, we STPI has launched already in about 19 center of excellences, and out of that, 146 startups have already onboarded. 66 products have been created already, and about 22 startups have already got funded. So these are the snapshot of all the 19 uh, COEs, and I'll go through each of them in next slide. So Image COE is in Hyderabad. It is basically for gaming, VFX, computer vision, and AI. So it is specifically for the domain of gaming and VFX. And FinBlue is for the fintech, and it is in SCPI Chennai, and it is doing tremendously good. Uh, Motion COE, it is in STPI Pune, and it is under the uh, automotive sector uh, in the emerging technology of autonomous connected vehicles, and all such activities are happening there. And Neuron is in Mohali, and it is specifically for artificial intelligence, data analytics, IoT, machine learning, etc. And IoT Open Lab is also, it is in Bangalore, STPI Bangalore, and it is one of the, this particular COE is mentored by Dr. Devi Shetty of Narayan Hrudayalaya. It is, and VAR COE is in Hyderabad. It is for virtual reality, and VR AR activities are the main domain there. Apiary is in STPI Gurgaon. It is and the blockchain technology center of excellence. And MedTech is in STPI Lucknow, specifically for medical electronic devices and healthcare activities. This Octane is eight center of excellences, bunch of 8 center of excellences in the Northeast region. In all small cities of northeastern states, this Octane is situated. And again, Electropreneur Park, Bhubaneswar, it is almost a replica of EP Electropreneur Park, New Delhi, but in here, even the state government of Odisha and various other institutes were came forward and collaborated for setting this up. And there is another scheme which STPI is also implementing, that is a new generation incubation scheme. It is a government funded incubation scheme to be set up in 12 smaller cities across India, and it is already uh, done first round of open challenge, and about uh, 46 companies are already on board. And STPI across India, we have about 9 directorates. Tiruvananthapuram is also one of them. And including sub-centers, we have 60 centers across India, and out of which 52 centers are in smaller cities and towns. Now, in Kerala, we started our presence way back in 90s only, but uh, the activities, for various reasons, it was not as expected, but we are not behind any other states also. So in this particular financial year closing March 31, March 2021, we ticked about 3,500 crores of export revenue. That is only from STPI registered companies. And the services that we offer in Kerala, we have a licensing office in Kochi also, and both the offices are giving desirable support for statutory service. We also have IBPS units in Kerala. We give datacom services here, co-location, data center or disaster recovery services, and hosting services, cloud services. We have all the bouquet of technology services all as well, and we give project management services for design of data centers, NOCs, and we also give um, security audit and various other O&M services from Kerala offices also. And this is our facility in Technopark. Uh, I'm sorry, I could not get the actual pictures, but it will be up and running in by the end of this calendar year, or maybe December end, we should get it handed over. Uh, the COVID is one of the reason we could not complete it in time, but it will be happening in next 6 months. It has all the facilities of incubation and various other office facilities, which are for STPA as well as for industry to use. The auditoriums and the boardrooms, it is meant for everyone to use. And in Kochi, this is the proposed uh, facility in Kochi. It is in 2 phases. Now the first phase is already, activities have been started, construction is going on, and we should get it in about 18 months from now. So this is the infrastructure availability. Here also we have uh, incubation, both plug and play as well as raw, and we are proposing for a data center and various other facilities which are essential for STPI and any IT company. So I think this is about it, and I'm open to take any questions, and I'll try to answer them if I'm comfortable to answer. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Ganesh sir. I think that was really very insightful. I think many of these things about STPI we didn't know. I mean, I didn't know, to be quite frank. So I think this session is an eye opener, I would say. I think there are a bunch of questions that we've got from members while they registered for this. So Vishnu, maybe we can go through that one by one. But before that, is there any plan to set up any COE out of Trivandrum? I think cloud I did not see in your list. Maybe it is a good idea.
Uh, oh yes, I forgot to mention the all the COEs that STPI has done till today are having a collaboration with the local state governments also. So we are approaching the government of Kerala. Maybe GTech may also help us in reaching the right people at right time. And we could not. We tried it about couple of years back also, but we could not click a deal there. So we will see. The government or the people in the government has changed now, so we should find some way forward. Even otherwise, if the state government is not ready to collaborate, we can try and see with the association like GTech or many others also, so that we can have a COE in either Kochi or in Trivandrum or at both places with the two different domains. And other thing is these center of excellences which are located across India are even people from Kerala can also avail the facility of such COEs also, but having one in our own land is much beneficial. So we will surely try and see how it can be done.
Yeah, I think that's definitely an option. I think we have multiple interaction points with the government, so maybe this is one high priority item that we can include in that. So thank you for that. Vishnu, can we go through the questions that we already have first, and then maybe we'll ask, I mean, we have the audience here who can ask any questions that they have.
Yeah, sure, Harish. So we can move on to the first question which we received during our registration process. So the first question would be what would be the registration process once the company is entering into STPI? So that is the initial question from a couple of companies. So Ganesh sir, can you just briefly explain about the registration process?
Yeah.
So, yeah, a couple of companies, they are planning to move out from SEZ.
Oh yes.
Then if they want to get into registration into STPI, so what would be the process?
Okay. Now for moving out from SEZ, there may be some reason for it. I think they started working from home, or the facility in SEZ is not completely utilized or something like that. Whatever it may be, the registration or conversion from SEZ to a STP unit, there are some challenges, but there is for the sake of export certification as a DTA unit, if they want to get it registered with STPI, it is it's a normal process. There is nothing specific or different processes there. There is a application format, or we have a online portal now. Maybe I will share the details to Vishnu so that or the particular company can talk to me or to my colleagues in this office to know more about the uh, registration process. It is what we need is details of their company formation and the activity that they are going to do, and mainly it has to be categorized under IT enabled service or IT development services or software product or service, one of them. Yeah. And there is a nominal registration fee also, both for 100% EOU scheme as well as for the non-STPs. Well, if things are fine, you should get approval within a week's time. So that, and that is the maximum time that we said, but normally within 3-4 days we will get the approval. Krishna?
Okay, thank you, sir. So the next question is regarding the Softex filing. The Softex forms take such a long time for certification. Okay, so sometimes it takes more than 30 days. So what would be the reason and how we can actually reduce that time slab?
Yes. Very sorry to hear that it took 30 days, as much as 30 days. Anyway, I'll see if you can share the company details separately.
Sure.
But nowadays, things have gone online, and our STPI online portal is up and running for export certification activity. And I normally keep track of Softexes personally, and within 7 days, it is being disposed of. So there should be, there could be some reason why it was kept pending, or we can see that. But I'm really sorry if it is done it deliberately or we missed it out. But nowadays, within 7 days, you should get Softexes. Yeah.
Okay. So when would be the TBM STPI building will be opening up, and is there going to be an incubator there?
Yes, we are scheduled to take it over by January to 2022. And there is about 200-seater fully furnished incubation space, and it will be allotted based on the application received, and based on some parameters. We also give various discounts on the market rates, and rates are decided by a committee or which is having a representative from industry, state government, and industry association. And there is a set process by STPI, and it will all be done in such way only. And incubation is open for anybody who's doing IT. Need not be export. It could be any activity related to IT. Incubation, and we have about 200 seats, and around starting of next year, it will be available to use.
Okay. Okay, great. So next is like, would STPI companies benefit from any service export incentives?
SCIS may be the point that the particular person is asking for. Export, service export incentive. At present, unfortunately, they have put STP units under a non-eligible category. And I think for the last couple of months, it is not being given to anybody, not only STPI. There was some notification from the Commerce Ministry saying that these incentives have been stopped. MEIS and SCIS incentives have been stopped. But at the highest level, through the ministry, STPI has represented it to the Ministry of Commerce to make STP units eligible for this. This is what I can say now. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So any new initiatives from STPI and new developments coming up in near future?
The topic that I have discussed just now, it is mainly about startup ecosystem for emerging technologies like IoT, blockchain, AR, VR, and there may be many other new technologies which may emerge out. So STPI is spearheading to give a support ecosystem for such particular startups, and maybe for training of skills in such technologies also we may start in the near future. So most of the things I've explained in the presentation, but anything particular I can talk to them and discuss also. I'm STPI Trivandrum is open for suggestions also. Whatever is needed by the industry of Kerala or from the GTech group also, we are open for all kind of suggestions so that we can take it forward and do something special for Kerala also. Not, it need not be a copy of what the other states have done. It could be something unique.
Okay. So there is a question from Mr. Thomas John from here in our forum. So is it mandatory for software ITS companies to get registered with STPI? And what is the difference between STPI and non-STPI schemes?
Okay, see, there was a mandatory requirement by the Reserve Bank of India saying that any activity that is happening through the data communication link has to be certified by someone in the sense STP used to do it for STP units, SEZ used to do it for SEZ units, and there are some units who are not STPs or not SEZs, so DTA units who are doing exports as well. So such units are needed to get the Softex or the export certified in the form what RBI has mandated. So STPI is doing that as a non-STP registration, and we are certifying only the exports, whatever has been done from such units. And the difference between STP and non-STP is STP has some obligations and non-STP doesn't have any obligation. STP can avail some financial benefits like duty exemptions on import and other benefits also. So, but non-STP is not entitled to get such benefits. So the non-STP is a normal domestic company who's doing some export business. It is called as a non-STP or a DTA company.
Okay, all right. So there were actually a couple of queries from companies from Calicut, majorly in Cyberpark. So I think we have Suhail here from Calicut. So I think Suhail, if you can actually tell those queries, Ganesh sir can address those.
Yeah, yes, Vishnu, thank you. Hi, my name is Suhail from Newport. Sir, we are a product company. We are a STPI. We do software exports, and the problems we faced or are still facing in some of the areas are we used to submit our Softex form on timely basis and submit a copy to bank also. But later, on a later dates, we'll get notification from bank or saying that your purpose code related things were changed.
Soil, sorry, I cannot hear you.
Sure, your voice is not actually audible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me try once more.
Yeah.
Is it okay now?
Now also it is not that clear. So if you can use the headset, it would be fine.
Let me try. Otherwise, Vishnu, shall I?
Now it is fine. Now it is fine.
Okay. So the question was about the reason why we are getting late notifications from banks, even for those transactions which were cleared and Softex were submitted years back. we get later notifications from bank that asking to resubmit to clarify, saying that the purpose code related things were not properly done. Actually, we submitted everything on the guidelines of STPI process, SOFTEX filing process, but we see that banks are not verifying it properly, and later we get uh, getting areas of documents to be cleared, and that is actually creating a takes in the finance. Again, they have to go and historically retrieve the old documents. So I heard that some of the other companies also facing similar issues. So is there anything STP can help, or is it purely from bank side they are not properly submitting the documents? They're saying that the notification comes from the RBI.
Sohail, Namaskar. And if I understand correctly, I think old exports that have been certified or being asked again by the bank.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so I don't know how to word it. The authorized bank might not have had good knowledge about how to deal with that, because these days all the exports are being reported through the EDPMS, and it's happening within with a click of a button. So maybe these soft taxes are of earlier period when there was no EDPMS, or and the company or the bank might have taken it very lightly and could not upload their data or enter their database with the soft tax details.
Yes.
So the best people to help this is only the bank, but I don't know, many hands might have changed from the bank, and the
Yeah, yeah, that is.
officer of 5 years back may not be here today. So let us see how STPI can support. Maybe
Yes, sir.
if you need any
We,
copies, if it is 4 5 years old, then we will see, or at least a
sure.
statement of such soft access.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let us see how it can be dealt, and if anything has to be done from my office, my instructions will be there, and my team is also very proactive and supportive, so they will help you out.
Yeah, 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 sure, sure. We used to get help. We used to call the office, and the office from Trivandrum used to help us with
Can
the
you can
bank
talk?
side. They will tell that purely, as you said, it is a system generated things. We don't know. It's actually they are not properly submitting on time. That could be the reason. Anyway, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, we will take this up. You can
Yeah,
call me also anytime. Yeah,
thank you. Thank you.
that's all. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Suhail, for that. So I think from participant side, if you have any further queries, you can unmute yourself and interact with Ganesh, sir.
Sir, second, Suhail, another question. So your presentation. So, what could be the now looking forward? SEZ as well as STPI, this income tax benefits or something on that is not no more going to happen, right? So,
Sohel, I could not.
okay, again, sorry, sorry, Vishnu, give chance to others. Then I'll talk later once my connection is back.
Sir, is it mandatory? This is Murli here from Softland India Limited. I am the managing director of the company. Is it mandatory that we should have Softex filed for the transactions, even if it is less than $25,000?
Namaskar, Murli.
Yes.
Yes, earlier there was a waiver about or below 25,000. They were not asking for soft taxes. That time, soft taxes were on paper, like there were 4 pages soft tax form and 4 copies of 4 pages you have to submit to STPI and get it signed and give it to bank and various other things. So then it was revolutionized, and now all things are in a Excel sheet, and within 1 or 2 pages you will find 20 Softex forms. So RBI has made every rupee to be certified through Softex. So it is if you go by rule, it has to be certified.
And for certifying, we have to be STPI registered. Is it like that?
Yes, it is. Registration means it is you're opening an account with STPI.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
There is
We
no
need
other-
not be part of STPA, or we need not be part of an export processing zone or whatever, but
no,
we can be outside anywhere in
yeah, you are,
yeah.
sorry, you are a domestic unit. But
Yeah, we are a domestic unit, but some little bit exports we are now starting. So that is why software exports.
So for that you have to get registered with us as a non-STP company. It is only specifically for export certification.
Only for export certification.
There is a nominal fee to be paid to STPI based on your export slab, and that's
Okay.
no other obligation to you.
And it is totally online, right?
Yeah, it is online. Yes, the application
Fully.
process. I think once you may have to send the file to STPI. You can do it sitting at wherever you are.
Okay.
You're within Kerala, you have to approach this office, or in Lakshadweep, you have to come to STPI Trivandrum. You have to come in the sense you have to approach us. You have to submit the document online first, and then we need a signed copy of the documents. You can put it
Okay.
also, and all other things will happen virtually.
Okay. 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 And now for the exports which has been done previous to our registration with STPI, it has to be mandatory certified by you, or what is the process, or it has to be ignored?
No, it is the choice is yours. The STPI can take those softexes, and with the proper documentation, we will condone the delay. And STPI or RBI has given that power to STPI directors now. So it is your choice.
Okay.
You can regularize your earlier invoices also.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So Ganesh sir, there are actually requests from companies like whether STPA can consider the waiving of or discounting NSTP charges and internet charges due to this COVID-19 situation.
Vishnu, emotional question. Anyway, that's see, the NSTP charges are primarily based on what export they've done. Okay, so if the exports have gone down, they will come to the lower slab.
Mhm.
Okay, so discount is that only. So I don't think the non-STP charges are painful, because it is completely based on your business, what you have done. Okay, so when you have some business, then you pay some cost for the services, or actually the software export certification, it takes some resource, and there is a cost involved in that activity also. That's why the fees have been charged, and it is nominal and based on the export performance slab. So if the company has not done good because of the COVID, then his slab will automatically come down. And about the internet charges, yes, internet, if it is a huge bandwidth, then you can obviously downgrade it if there is not no utilization, so that the expenditure may be under control. And COVID is pained us, pained everyone, so these things can be considered for the internet charges, and not about the STP or non-STP charges, because that is primarily based on the business that you're doing.
Okay, thank you. So these were the main queries which we received from the companies. So other than these, if anybody else in this session have any other queries, can directly speak. We have around a few more minutes to wind up the session. Now, Harish, over to you, Harish.
Okay, thanks, Vishnu. And thanks a lot, Ganesha, for this interaction. I think it was very useful. I think most of our questions could be answered, and we could also bring people from all parts of Kerala. So thanks a lot for explaining this. So will you be sharing this deck with us so that we can circulate with the membership?
You want to share?
Yeah, so
The
would
presentation, can you share with us so that we can share with every
Oh yes,
member?
I can share that. Vishnu, you will get it maybe today or tomorrow.
Sure, sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so thanks a lot for your time. Really appreciate you taking time off your busy schedule to do this. And special thank to Joint Director Mahesh Nair, who has been instrumental in setting it up. We have been bugging him for quite some time now. So quite happy that this happened, and thanks a lot for your time. Thanks to everyone who joined us today.
Thank you, Harish Mohanji. And today I was not like the type of audience what you will have. I was not aware, so I just gave a very brief presentation on STPI. Some might have got confused by seeing the slides, but maybe in the future we can have a specific topic chosen, and I'll be ready to share anything what STPI is doing, or STPI is open for all inputs from the industry as well as from GTech. So you can approach me or my colleagues anytime. Let us collaborate and work towards the growth of IT fraternity in this particular region. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. I think it'll be beneficial to do a session on how the companies out of Kerala can benefit the COEs which are operating in other parts. Some of those areas like AI and robotics and all, a lot of companies here who are doing a lot of work there. So maybe some focus session on how some of the companies here can make use of these COEs, I think might be useful, if you ask me.
Yeah, maybe we can have sessions. We can invite people from that COE. Now things have been virtual, and from anywhere people can talk to the people in Kerala. So operating officers of these COEs can have a session about their COE specifically. And whenever there are some challenges or open challenge programs they launch, then we can have a specific GTech specific road shows or something like that. So it may be beneficial for all of us. Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, then I think that's all we have for today. Thanks a lot, everyone. Thank you, Ganesh sir. And
Thank
everyone else
you.
from
Thank you,
STPI.
Vishnu.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Bye. Have a good day. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.